Hello students, we are starting with a chapter that is the flower. Very important and very easy chapter. Okay, flower is the most beautiful and the conspicuous part of a plant. The word conspicuous means that many of them are not aware that flower is said to be the reproductive organ. Okay, reproductive organ. Why it is said to be a reproductive organ? Because it helps to carry up the generation. Okay, to carry up the generation. Okay, so let's start. What do you mean by a flower? Let's define it up. What do you mean by a flower? So flower means flower is a specialized shoot in which the leaves are modified into floral structure. Flower is a specialized shoot. What do you mean by this word, specialized shoot? Okay, we have already know the shoot system. Okay, what do you mean by shoot system? Suppose this is a plant I have to do. So this will be the root, this will be the roots, this would be the stems, and there will be quite leaves and all. Okay, from these leaves after a maturation there would be a specialized things that would get developed, that is a flower. Okay, so they are, the flower is a specialized shoot in which the leaves are modified. What do you mean by modified? The word modify means change. The word modify means change into floral structure. What do you mean by floral structure? There are the different parts of the plant. There are the different parts of the flower. As in a condition of a human, we have eyes, nose, ears, lips, each and every organs we have. The same like that, they have the floral structure. The floral structure means the different parts of the flower. Let's move ahead. See here, if you could see it very perfectly, to see this, there is a petal, anther, filament, receptacle, ovary, sepal, style, stigma, various part we can see. Let's understand them in detail. See, the structure of a bisexual flower. The word bi, the word bisexual means, the word bi means true, two sex. Okay, a flower can be a male and female both. That means bisexual in nature. What is the first whole? Okay, first whole is consist of sepals. This second one is consist of petals. The third whole will be androecium. Fourth whole will be gynoecium. Let's understand. First whole, sepals. Sepals are green in color. Okay, a single structure is called sepal, and in collection it would be called as a calyx. The second part, that is the petals. You have already studied about the petals or heard about this word in your lower standards. Petals, like rose, the color of the rose is red. Okay, so we can remove that red color part. That red color part is called petals. In sunflower, it is yellow in color. Water lily, it is white in color. So they are nothing but the petals. The third whole, that is the male part. It has a long thread-like structure which is projecting out and usually ending with a bilobe tubes. See, how would be the structure? I'm going to erase this part so that I can make it more perfectly, the androecium part for you. See, androecium. So there is some symbolic form. It's a circle and a cross arrow. Okay, like this. You can see in your textbook. They are also called as stamens. Okay, they are also called as the stamen. Let's understand the structure of this part. It's a long thread like structure like this. It's a thread like structure which is projecting out. Okay, it moves out of the flower. Why it moves out of the flower? Because for pollination. You have already heard about this word in your 8th standard, pollination. It has a bilobe tube like this. See, 1 and 2. They have been divided into 2 parts. So this is nothing but the structure of the androecium. The androecium is the male part. So how we have to study? AM, androecium, male part. Now let's consider the fourth part. There is a centrally located pistil. Single is called carpel. Many will be called as the gynoecium. Okay, let's understand in the previous slide. See, this is the pistil which is located centrally. If you could see this part, the topmost part, that is the stigma, this is the style, and this is the ovary. These 3 structure together make your gynoecium. Gynoecium. What do you mean by gynoecium? The female part. Okay, gynoecium means the female part. The centrally located, it's called pistil. Single unit is called carpel. Many carpel will be called as the gynoecium. So in easier term, you can call it as a gynoecium. The word gynoecium and androecium. See, this anthers and filament are the part of the androecium. They are the part of the androecium. Okay, this is sepal, which is green in color. We have already done about the petals. Okay, they are brightly colored. This pink color you can see up. Okay, what is this receptacle? This receptacle means which is arranged. Okay, the tip of the flower stalk expand into a cup shape. I'm going to erase this part for you. Okay, it is forming a cup shape. See, what do you mean by stalk? Stalk means that wooden part that holds up the flower. Okay, and it forms a cup shape like this. This cup, the tip part of the stalk, tip means the topmost part, is called as the receptacle. Okay, so we have completed our 4 whorls. What were the 4 whorls? Calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. Calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. So these are the 4 important whorls. Okay, we have to study. These are the 4 important parts of the flower. So I'm going to make a shortcut for you. KCAG. The word K means King, Canada, arrogant guy. Why? Because K stands for calyx, C stands for corolla, A stands for androecium, and G stands for gynoecium. Many of the students will have a doubt कि calyx stands for C and we have written K. But if you could pronounce this calyx, so it will start from K only. Okay, cleared? Now we are going to talk about the complete flower and incomplete flower. What do you mean by a complete flower and what do you mean by an incomplete flower? It's in very easy terms. See, we have already discussed the floral structure. How many floral structures were there? 4. That was calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. These were the 4 parts. Okay. See, in this part, complete flower is one which have all the floral structure or all 4 floral structure. Means calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium should be present. So those flower would be considered as a complete flower. incomplete flower. If suppose out of these 4 whorls, there could be only 3 whorls in a flower, it could be 2 or it could be 1. So this 3 to 1 would be considered as the incomplete flower. Okay, one of the part or more than one part are missing in those flower would be considered as the incomplete flower. Okay, complete flower means we need all the 4 structures like this. If it has 3, 2 or 1, so it would be considered as incomplete flower. Easy. Now, essential and non-essential part. Okay, the word essential and non-essential part you have heard many of time in your lower standing. Okay, what do you mean by essential? Which is required to do, which is very important. What do you mean by non-essential? Which is not that important. Okay, not required. Let's understand essential and non-essential in bit detail about the flowers. See, this is an essential. The essential part of the flower, the essential part of the flowers are the stamens, that is the male part, and the female, that is the carpel part. Why stamens and carpels are considered to be the essential part? Because they deal with the reproduction part of the flower. Okay, they carry out their generation, okay, from one generation to other. So that is why androecium and gynoeciums are considered to be the essential parts of the flower, because they are the part which is going to carry up the generation of the flowers ahead. Then who are considered to be the non-essential part? Non-essential part are nothing but sepals and petals. This part are usually are considered as accessories. Accessories means the extra part. Okay, they are the extra part, non-essential. They are just involved with the protection and attraction. Okay, attraction for pollination and protection, because these sepals and petals protect the flower from the unwanted animals and all. Okay, so that is why they are considered to be the protection and attraction. And who are there? Sepals and petals. Androecium, that is the male stamen, and the female carpel is called gynoecium, responsible for the reproduction. So that is why they are essential in nature. Now, let's understand this part in detail. As we have considered the non-essential part, that is the sepals and the petals. Sepals are usually green in color, as we can see in this diagram. Sepals are usually green in color, as we can see in this diagram. Okay, and petals, if you are going to see this petal part, which is colorful in nature. Okay, which is colorful in nature. These sepals and petals which are attached together, this condition is called perianth condition. What do you mean by perianth? Perianth means in which the sepals and the petals are attached together. In some of the flowers, the sepals and petals are attached together. So that is why they are called as the perianth. The perianth can be considered into two types. One would be sepaloid. and other would be called as the petaloid. Petaloid. Okay. The perianth can be of two type. If a flower color is completely green, so it would be considered as sepaloid. If a flower color is completely bright means colorful, so it would be considered as petaloids. So perianth condition means a condition in which the sepals and the petals who remains attached together. Okay, the perianth are of two types, sepaloid and petaloid. The sepaloid, when these condition are completely green, or else if this condition is completely colorful, it would be called as a petaloid. Now let's understand the term bracts. Okay, let's understand the term bract. When a flower arises in the exile of a leaf-like structure is known as the bract. Okay, they may be green or colored. Example is bougainvillea. Okay, bougainvillea, which is easily mistaken for petals. See, what is the condition in the bougainvillea? Let's understand with the diagram. See this diagram. If we could see this diagram very perfectly, the whole part is colorful in nature, but there is a centrally located one flower. If you could see this part, the other part is quite big in nature. Okay, the other part like this whole is completely colorful and big in nature. So what does the insect like honeybee thinks? Okay, this bright color is nothing but the flower, but this is not the flower. They are considered as the bract. Bract means it is a leaf like structure. It is a leaf. Okay, this part is a leaf, not a flower. Where is the flower? It is the flower arises in the exile. Exile means like here. Okay, in exile. Okay, this condition is considered as a bract. They are large and colorful in nature. Why these bracts are large and colorful in nature? So that they can fool the insects. Okay, because what they think, this bright color part is the flower, so they get easily mistaken. Okay, so we have done, they may be green or colored in nature. Nectaries. What do you mean by nectaries? The word nectary means these cells. The word nectaries means cell. Okay, with cell, with secrete. This nectary cell secretes nectar. What do you mean by nectar? Sweet fragrant liquid. Okay, why this sweet fragrant liquid? Sweet means okay, tasty. Fragrance means a good smell, and liquid in nature like honey. Like this attract the honeybee for the cross pollination. Let's understand nectaries. Where are nectaries situated? They are situated at the base of the pistil or on the basis of the petal. See, where is the pistil? It is centrally located. Okay, base means the lower part. So somewhat the nectars are here. Okay, from this part the nectar is secreting. From this part the nectar is secreting. This nectars attract the honeybee for cross pollination. What do you mean by cross pollination? In the next chapter we are going to complete our pollination and fertilization. At that period of a time you could understand it more perfectly. Okay, this is the base part, this is the piston. Okay, that's a ovary, between there is a placenta, and here is the nectar is located. Okay, and these nectaries are there for the attraction of honeybee for cross pollination. This is an example, nasturtium. See this example. See how brightly colored this flower is, nasturtium. Okay, how brightly colored this nasturtium is. So what does honeybee does? Honeybee goes out here, they suck the nectar from this part. Okay, from the middle part. This topic is sexuality in flower. We humans have got a perfect gift from the God. That is, a person can be a male or a perfect female. But there is something very peculiar about the flowers. It can be a male, it can be a female, or it can be nothing. Like not a male also, not a female also. Let's understand the terms in more detail. The first is known as the hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite, in easier sense, I can call them as bisexual in nature. Bisexual. Okay? Bisexual in nature. What do you mean by word bisexual in nature? The word bi means two. Okay? Means it has both a male and a female. Okay, a flower is a male as well as a female. So this means they are hermaphrodite or bisexual in nature, and these plants are also considered as the perfect flower. They are also considered as the perfect flower. Now moving to the next part, that is the unisexual. The word unisexual, the word unicycle means a single tire. The word unisexual means single sexual. It can be a male or it can be a female. In the above hermaphrodite, a plant was both in nature. It was male also and it was female also. Okay? In unisexual flower, if it could be a perfect male or it could be a female. This unisexual have been divided into two parts, that is staminate and pistillate. Let's understand them. We have done the word staminate. The word staminate goes for the male part, okay, which we call them as the androecium also, male part. If suppose a flower who is male, so we would call that flower as staminate. Okay, how we could identify staminate? I already said that there is a thread like structure with a perfect bilobe tip. Okay, like this. If this structure is present inside a male, so it would be considered as the staminate. Next part. If a flower has only the female organs, so it would be considered as the pistillate. So what do you mean by pistillate? Only the female part. What would be the female part? We have discussed about this. That is a stigma, style, and ovary. This is the stigma. This is nothing but the style, and this is the ovary. If all these three parts are present, so we would consider that the flower is female in nature. But using a word female is very strange, so we would use a biological term, that is the pistillate. Okay, we are going to use a biological word, that would be pistillate. Okay, now moving to the next part, that is the neuter flower. As I already said you, we humans can be a male or can be a female, but unlike the conditions in the flower, they can be a male also, female also, or both male and female, and the same period of a time they can be neuter also. Okay, neuter flower are those flowers in which male and female parts both are lacking. What do you mean by word lacking? The word lacking means in which male and female part is not present. The example to this part would be sunflower. Okay, description of the floral parts. See, we have studied about the 4 floral parts, that is the calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, and I have given a shortcut also to remember, KCAG, King Canada arrogant guy, calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. Let's study first about the calyx part in detail. The calyx can be of 2 types. It could be a polysepalous or gamosepalous. Usually calyx means phi. Why it means phi? Let's understand this with a perfect diagram. So in this structure, if you could see, this is polysepalous and this is the gamosepalous. The word poly, I'm going to divide these words. Poly. The poly means which are free. Which are free. The word gamo means which are fused. Fused means easy word, together. See, sepals, I already said that sepals are green in color. Okay, if you could see, this is a polysepalous. Why it is polysepalous? Because it is easy for me to remove this one part, second part, third part, fourth part, fifth part. And I already said that the calyx are 5 in numbers. Gamosepalous. If you could see in this part, they are fused together. It will be not that easy for me to remove this single calyx, because when I will try to remove this calyx, so it won't be come in a perfect shape. Okay, it will be removed off in a irregular manner. But here, if I have to remove this one, so it is that easy. As I already said, they are usually green in color, but in the case of a gulmohar, it is red in color. Okay, it's an exception. They protect the young flower bud. Okay, if you could see the calyx, when the calyx is not mature, okay, when the flower is not mature, not calyx, the calyx is somewhat in this part. Okay, it does not blooms out. It is like this. And inside this calyx, there is a bird. Okay, there is one bird, bud, bird. What do you mean by a bird? Bird means an undeveloped embryonic shoot which remains in dormant condition. Okay, like in a condition of the humans, a mom have to carry up the baby for 9 months. So this means that the baby is in the embryonic stage. Okay, after the 9 months, after the completion of 9 months, a organism comes out. We call them as a baby. So same like that, bird means undeveloped condition. Okay, the condition inside that flower is not suitable, so that is why it is there inside that. So this calyx holds up this bird. Okay, like this. Once it get mature, it can easily form up the shape of the flower like this. Okay, as we have discussed that this is green in color, so they are going to perform the photosynthesis part also, because the photosynthesis part is usually carried out by the leaves. Okay, this photo, because they are green in color. Now the second structure, that is corolla, which is known as the petals. I have already discussed about the petals, that the petals are bright color. Okay, what do you mean by bright color? It can be any color other than green. Okay, listen to this part. It could be any color other than green, because green stands for the sepals. They could be polypetalous or gamopetalous. See, A, this is the free petals. It means we can easily pluck up these petals. This B and C, both of them are fused in nature. See, both of them are fused in nature. The first form is tubular form. It would be in a shape of a tube, and it is in a shape, the C part, it is in the shape of a funnel like this. Okay, and it is in the shape like this. This corolla, they protect as well as attracts the honeybee. They protect and attracts the honeybee. So today we have discussed about the two floral structure, that is the calyx and the other one was corolla. We have discussed about which flowers are considered to be the male, that is the staminate, and the female ones are called the pistillate. We have also covered up the neutral flower, in which both the sexes are lacking, that is the male and the females are not present inside that flower. Okay, if students you have doubts, you can clear up, okay, by calling me or WhatsApping me. Thank you, students. That was the part 1 of the flower.